Today I'm making a really fun recipe, and this is what I call a pizza bowl. What we need is some homemade pizza dough, which is here. This is 10 ounces or 284 grams. I also have some mushrooms, I've got green pepper, I've got some onion, mozzarella cheese, I have some bacon bits right here which I fried up this morning, and I also have homemade pizza sauce. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all of these ingredients and we're going to make this really cool little upside down pizza, which I call a pizza bowl. So those are the ingredients, so let's get started. Alright, so what I'm going to be doing right now is I'm just going to pour some vegetable oil into my little fry pan, and I'm going to start up some onion. I like to put onion in this. I'm not going to use all of this. I guess that's good enough. So I'm going to get that onion going. I'm going to also put in the green pepper. This I'll use about, let's put the whole thing in. There we go. Alright. And I'll also put in all of the mushrooms. And you're going to understand why I'm doing this, because what's going to happen is we're going to be baking this in a bowl. And so there's going to be no direct heat from any of the oven elements directly hitting the vegetables. So what I want to do is I just want to make sure that they're cooked. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fry this up, I'll get this going, and I'll come back when it's basically done, and then we'll get on to the real part of the recipe where we're going to actually make the pizza bowl. So I'm going to get this going. I'm going to put a little bit of salt in there, just to speed it up, and it'll just extract some of the water from the vegetables. We'll get that going. So I'll keep going with this, and I'll be back when these have all reduced down. Alright, this has been going for about 4 or 5 minutes, and it's really reduced down. So at this point I'm going to turn off the little hot plate here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let this cool down, and we're going to start on the actual building of our little pizza bowl. Alright, so what I have here is a little bowl, and what I'm going to do, this is a stove safe bowl, oven safe, and what I'm going to do is, and this is a really important thing, take your cooking spray or take oil and put it all around here. It has to be well covered, because what we're going to be doing later is we're going to be turning the pizza over, and it has to slide out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the sink and I'm just going to spray this well. Alright, so there we go. Just going to clean my hands off. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our cheese and we're going to start putting the cheese in at the bottom. And just place it around like that. There we go. Okay. Perfect. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to get our filling, and we're going to get some of that filling in here. Just put that in all the way around. There we go. Beautiful. And then I'm going to take pizza sauce, and I'm going to pour pizza sauce in there. There we go. I'll just get that all in there like that. And then I'm going to take our bacon. Let's get all the bacon in there as well. Just spread it around. That's beautiful. And put the rest of this stuff on there. And if you don't like this kind of stuff, you don't have to do this. You can do anything you want as a filling. You could just do pepperoni and cheese. Anything goes. There are no rules. So there we go. Beautiful. Alright, so our next step is our pizza dough. Let me just clean off my area here. I'm going to dry it. I'm going to put down a little flour. And this is our 10 ounces of dough. I just made this dough this morning. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to press it down And I'll grab my rolling pin. And right now I have my oven preheating to 425 degrees. You could do it at 400, you could do it at 450. All depends on you. You could do it at 375 even. But I like a faster oven, hotter oven for pizza. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to roll this out. Now what we're trying to do here is we're trying to get a dough that's going to be large enough, that's going to fit over the top. I want it going right over the top, and I want it coming over the lip of the bowl. So I'm just going to keep rolling this out and I'll be back. Alright, that's pretty good. So I'll bring that back over here. And I'm just going to take the dough now and I'm going to just gently place it over like that. Okay. Now, what I like to do is I like to have a thicker crust. So I'm going to take this dough and I'm just going to flip it over like this. So I take it like that and I just flip it over and then place it around. Okay. So I'm lifting, turning it a little bit and flipping it around. Just kind of like, and you just want to gently drape it over. You're going to see how cool this is when it's you know, when I bring it out of the oven and we actually plate it. So there we go. Okay. So I'm not just taking the dough and just flipping it over. I'm rolling it, just doing a little flip. So what that does, if I can lift it up here, we can look at it. You can kind of see it's making, you know, a nice thick crust. Okay. So we're just going to leave it like that. Just like that. You want it kind of sitting on the top so that it doesn't all cave in either. So it's kind of like you're balancing it on the rim of the bowl. Just like that. You don't want it actually coming in too far. Yeah, you can just a little bit on the outside. Just like that. There we go. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just waiting for my oven to come up to temperature, and then I'm going to pop this in the oven and I'm going to bake it until it's done, which might take 15 minutes. I'll let you know exactly how long it took. So I'm going to pop that in the oven just like that, and when it's done I will be back. Alright, here is my pizza bowl, and every time I make this, sometimes it's lopsided, sometimes it's perfectly on there, but anyway, there we got it. It's nice and golden brown. Now, here's the real tricky part. Getting this upside down on a plate. So, and when this is really hot, it's kind of hard to do. So, every time I do this, I do a little different technique, but I'm going to try to grab it like this and flip it over quickly. I'm going to get my hands under here. Oh, that's hot. Alright, and then I'm just going to flip it over. There we go. Perfect. And now I'll just show you how it looks. See, even though we put this on perfectly, sometimes, you know, the way the dough falls, if there's a little bit too much dough on one side, it kind of wants to flip over and bake that way. But anyway, here we go. So then what you do is, now remember we greased this really well. So with any luck, this will just slide out. So what you do is you try to get it in the plate, in the middle of the plate, and then you lift the bowl off. And there we go. And look at that. See how clean my bowl is? Because we greased it very well. So I'll just get rid of that because that's extremely hot. And there we have it. Pizza bowl. Now this is a lot of pizza. If you wanted to make it smaller, what you could do is use a smaller bowl or use less dough, maybe half the dough and half the ingredients. But there you go. So you can either serve that if you're really hungry. Somebody, you know, a larger person could probably eat this whole thing, or you can cut it in half, or even cut it into quarters if you wanted to. But there you go. Where are we here? There we go. But you can see how nice that is. So there we go. Isn't that nice? So I'll cut into this later on, but for now I'm going to let this cool down a little bit, and then I'll come back and we'll give it a little cut. Alright, let's just cut into this. I'll just show you what it looks like. Oh, it smells so good. And I'll just open it up like that. You can see that. Look at all that pizza goodness. Oh man, that's good. Oh, yum. Alright, so that's it for this video, and I'll see you next time.